Good evening, everyone. How are y'all tonight?
Hey, why did you do it for 41 seconds, Josh?
I didn't realize the music only went for 41 seconds. It cut off.
Really?
I apologize.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, and not only that, I wasn't ready. I haven't even shared the feed.
I'm sorry, Roman.
Yeah,
Please share the feed.
Just not done the music. Let's let the music go and for a minute, please. Anyway, guys, it's fine. I need to share it with everybody because I was looking down. So Josh.
I'm sorry. I know I'm a work in progress.
Yeah, I mean, but if I'm looking down, it just looks really weird that I'm not paying attention to everybody. Anyway, guys, hey, we're supposed to have Jack Garcia, who's running for San Benito CISD, and he's not here yet. Manny sent him the link, so I have no way of contacting him. And Manny is in the air right now. I think he's somewhere, maybe over the Sahara Desert. Have no idea where he's at. He could be over the Himalayas.
On his way to Thailand, though, right?
What?
He's on his way to Thailand, right? To Bangkok.
Oh, he's going to Bangkok.
He likes that spicy food, doesn't he?
Is he having a surgery in Bangkok or something? Or what's going on?
I thought it was because he likes the spicy food. You want to go check out the beaches of Phuket or something like that.
Oh, okay. Maybe you're saying he likes chili or something, or what? Like hot peppers or something?
I've heard. I mean.
Yeah,
we love you, Manny.
All right. Anyway, well, you want to make the so I guess we're gonna do the hodgepodge first because no Jack, and so whenever he gets in, we'll move into San Benito because there's some stuff happening in San Benito. Hey Ray, what's going on? We're gonna try to have an incredible show for you, Ray. There was some interesting news that came out in the Brownsville Herald and the Valley Morning Star about some shenanigans going on with poll watchers in San Benito, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have Jack on to discuss what's happening over there. And so I don't want to spoil it for him, but basically there was an elected official in San Benito CISD who was selected to be a poll watcher on behalf of a candidate, and well, you can't do that. That's a big no-no. If you're an elected official, you cannot be a poll watcher. You want to know why? Because it makes it seem like if you're a voter that somebody's trying to encourage you to vote a certain way, and it could be coercive. Now, I'm not saying coercion happened, but that's the reason why we're here in Texas. We don't allow elected officials to be poll watchers. So, hey, what's going on, time traveler? Even. So that's what happened in San Benito. Who's the pretty girl in the purple black? Shut up, Ray. Shut up. I know I'm pretty. I'm pretty. I'm so pretty. I'm so pretty and yay.
Ray's on fire tonight so far.
Yeah, shut up, Ray. Ray doesn't even know what he's talking about at this point. Ray's just
leave Ray alone.
Full rules. Wow. I know they can't. I don't know what it is about our elected officials or candidates. Some of these people cannot follow rules, and I'm not saying I'm a know-it-all. You know, I know some stuff, but come on, guys.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Like our friend, you feel pretty. I'm so pretty. Yes. I would play the Wayside Story song, but I'm afraid that somebody might get us go cuckoo, cut off the Facebook or whatever, because Facebook is weird. What time is the candidate going to speak? He was supposed to be here at 7:30 beforehand, and he's not here. I don't know what's going on there. So John, if you know Rick, let him know. We're waiting for him. Jack was supposed to be here. I know, but his name is John. Okay. John, if you know Jack, please let him know we're waiting for him. He was supposed to be here at 7:30. No clue. It's no big deal. Originally scheduled was supposed to be tentative with Senator Lucio was supposed to be with us tonight. Something happened. He's traveling, so he's not going to be able to make it tonight. But for sure, we have him, penned in with tattooed marker, the same kind of tattoos that some women put on their eyebrows because they want to not have to pluck their eyebrows. We have that tattooed in, next Tuesday, October 27th, Senator Eddie Luso Jr. will be joining us to discuss his re-election campaign, who something might be his last race for office, win or lose. I don't expect him to lose, but it is what it is. So Josh is manning the Manny station because Manny is on the road. Hey, Josh, what's going on?
Not much. How are you tonight, Roman?
Doing okay. I'm wondering when Dr. Fauci's going to get fired. That's what I'm thinking in my mind right now. When will Dr. Fauci get fired? If Trump loses on the 3rd, which I expect, you don't, I expect that to happen. Do you think Trump will fire him like the very next day? Just like, I hate you, Dr. Fauci. And fire him? And being
it's a possibility. You never know. But Mr. Garcia is here, so I'm going to let him in.
Oh, cool. All right. Good job, Jack. Jack, there you are, Jack. What happened?
I'm sorry. I don't know. I didn't hit the right button or something. I've been waiting, actually.
Oh, really?
My apology. I don't know some difficulties with it, but I think I clarified it.
Okay, good job. Yeah, because sometimes some people are waiting and they think that section where you type in your name.
Exactly. There's a pause there and you're waiting, but you have to scroll all the way down to see where you enter the actual.
Because that's the test area for your microphone, a test area for your video to make sure everything's working okay, and whatever name you got. That's like the test area, and then you have to click on the next one, and then you're in. We're good. We're here. So Jack, tell us what's going on over in San Benito, because apparently we had a big old brouhaha over an elected official being a poll watcher, and you want to talk about some stuff that your opponent has been doing. So.
Okay. Well, I think first of all, I want to just share the excitement right now as far as the turnout, guys. I think as of yesterday, this is a rough estimate. We had over 3,800 plus voters in the school district alone. And to put it in perspective, I mean, for our community in our area, that's more votes than the last school board election total, with early voting and actual election day. So, the numbers are really coming in, and I just want to first start off by applauding and all the people that have gone to go vote and really taking this seriously. Obviously, the presidential election is driving also many of the voters to go to the polls. But it's good. It's good, and it's exciting that number is up high. Whether they voted for me or they voted for my opponent, doesn't matter. The fact is that a lot of people went out and voted, and that's what's important.
Those numbers that you were alluding to are the numbers that the Cameron County Elections Department gives us every morning. Right. Those are a smaller portion of what the county gives the night before. In terms of the daily count of people that have voted up until that point, early vote. But those numbers do not include mail-in ballots. And I don't know if you have actually reached out to the election department to find out. And I know that for a fact, because when you look at the Secretary of State's website information, the next morning, usually around 10 in the morning, which like every morning around 10 or 11, they'll do the updated, and they'll have the in-person number for that particular day, the previous day. And then the next column will say cumulative mail-in ballots up until that point. And those are mail-in ballots that have come in. And here's a quick idea. Yesterday, after last night, they had 45,500 voters in-person early vote. But when you add in the mail-in ballot, according to the Secretary of State, they're almost at 7,000 mail-in ballots alone. So we're at 52,000 más o menos in early vote, not including today, not including what mail-in ballots came in today and how many people voted today, because I think early voting already finished for today at 7. That's an amazing number. I think in 2016, Cameron County had about 93. Hey, Joe, I had about 93,000 voters total. Early vote, election day, and mail-in ballot. We're already way more than halfway through that. I don't know what's going to happen. I fully expect this week to come down a little bit in terms of the rate of growth, and they'll pick it back up again next week. And obviously, early vote. I'm pretty sure we're gonna pass 100,000 votes. I don't know how much more we're going to do that. But in your race, usually your race takes place in May, so it doesn't surprise me that you're having way more voters in a presidential election year in November versus in a May election.
Yeah, I think potentially what I recall thinking back years, a winner could take about between 1,100 to 1,500 votes. In this particular case, I mean, you're talking about the potential of over 2,000 votes easily that could go to one side or the other, and those are huge numbers. And you are correct, because I know of individuals, and rightfully so, that are with disabilities or working out of town, and are mailing in their ballots also as well.
Yeah. And hopefully they'll be able to get their mail-in ballot on time. If I'm not mistaken, in Texas, mail-in ballots have to, other than military ballots and overseas ballots, I think these ballots have to be in by election day or on election day. Obviously postmarked. This is in Pennsylvania, where they like to change the rules as they are. But in the news overnight, last night, the Valley Morning Star discussed one of the elected officials who is a trustee currently on the school board. Who is that person, and who is the person that selected her to be a poll watcher? Was that on your slate, or was that on the other side slate?
Well, it's my understanding that board member Victor Rosas had appointed board member Sonia Weaver to be a poll watcher. I actually heard him state that that the following day, I guess it was morning, I guess. It clearly states that you cannot have an elected official as a poll watcher in there, because, you don't want any problems. You don't want the, you can only imagine a school district employee walking in there and finding themselves voting while a school board member is in the presence of the same area. So that's basically what has happened. I know it was taken care of. I know Mr. Remy Garza sent us an email explaining it and kind of apologizing. And that's all I know as of right now.
But it wasn't your slate. It was the other side slate that did this.
It was yes. Mr. Rosas is running with my
opponent. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is that there may have been some sort of miscommunication, because the school district is essentially contracting with the county to run their elections. The school district can have a representative be there when the vote count happens. And usually it's an employee of the district, or it's somebody that's been pre-selected. In a city, it's usually the city secretary, or maybe an assistant city manager that is the one that, these are the results of it. Can you release them? Can we release them, and do that kind of stuff? But that usually happens at central count. This is completely different. This is a situation where you had a person watching how the voters were coming in, how they were interacting. And the thing is, a poll watcher's, for those of you who don't know, a poll watcher is just supposed to sit there and watch, literally watch. They're not supposed to interact with voters. They're not supposed to interact with workers that are doing the election, with the exception of the election judge. That is the only communication they're supposed to have. And even then, they really need to leave that very limited. And we do this for a reason in Texas, not to have elected officials do that. And it might have been a mistake, but it's still wrong. And the fact that somebody at San Benito CISD did that, didn't follow the rules. And I don't believe it's Remy's fault. Remy has a lot of stuff he has to handle. This is probably the largest election he's probably ever going to run. Well, maybe from now on it'll get bigger and bigger, but this is the sheer amount of elections that are happening concurrently because of what happened in May, because of coronavirus, is a lot. So, I can forgive him, but I don't know if we can necessarily forgive San Benito CISD elected official for doing that. They should know the rules. And that's kind of what the thing is. Now, Jack, while we have you on, what's been going on in your race? I know my understanding is that your opponent has gone a little bit negative, and you want to, respond to some of those things. And Manny, just for the record, Manny has tried to reach out to your opponent and they're, according to Manny, who's our scheduler for the show, has not replied, has not responded, is not interested in coming on, it seems like. And so in the interest of you all knowing there's fair time here, he hasn't bothered to use it. So Jack, please tell us what's going on.
And I'm glad that you said that, because I've posted on Facebook on my campaign page. I made it clear that I would love to have it doesn't have to be necessarily a debate, but a political forum to discuss issues and so forth. And obviously he didn't respond to y'all. So to say negatively would be an understatement. And I know that there was some flyers circulated, information. I'm going to say this. My separation for the district was well documented. I mean, the district took very, it was discussed in open session. It was printed in the newspapers constantly by the district. So that's their interpretation. I have my interpretation. I will say, guys, that on the advice of my attorney, I can't discuss too much about it. But I will say that there's two sides to the story, and obviously I don't like the way the district handled it. My name was plastered all over the place. I do have an aunt that is sitting on the school board, and I've always stated that it's retaliation based on my relationship with my aunt. My aunt has been in the minority, and she has been very vocal of the superintendent. And the flyer itself is pretty much the proof that if it wasn't, it's both my aunt and myself that is portrayed as garbage. So that's all I can say about that particular area. They did make a statement in there that I apparently lost over $1 million, that I cost the district $1 million. And they were referencing to grants, 21st century grants that I overlooked. And I want to clarify something, how that works, okay? When you apply for a 21st century grant, it's an application, it's competitive. So there are grant reviewers across the state that review it, score it. There's not just one grant review, there's several of them. And so they average out the scores, and that's how they decide on rankings and so forth. What their allegation is that because a grant wasn't funded, I somehow cost the district over $1 million. That's completely false. It's a false narrative. It's not like I had a grant and I misused it, and I lost funding that was already allocated for us. Okay, and I want to explain the difference here, because they make it seem as though that I somehow mismanage and so forth. I will say this: in the 17 years as a director of the program, I never was out of compliance. I never lost any money. Furthermore, we were a award-winning program, so much so that we were doing so well in our goals and objectives that the states themselves granted us additional funds. Okay, I remember one particular summer we were awarded $250,000 above of what we were already allocated because of doing such a great job. Okay, another thing that they mention on there is that that I cost the district from the fund balance $300,000. Let me explain further on these grants. SBCISD has been very successful in obtaining grants for many, many years. I'm talking over 20 years, okay? And part of the requirements here in the last 15 years is that the whoever's applying for it, because it could be a nonprofit, it can be a school district, they have to show some type of sustainability program, okay? And basically, many years ago, we're not talking recently where my opponent was a board member, the district allocated funding for non-grant sites. And those non-grant sites at one point were under a grant. And that's part of the sustainability program. That's part of the sustainability that you write into a grant. And this idea that somehow that costs district fund balance to save the after-school program, well, I mean, I don't understand unless they're saying something I don't know, because I've been gone from the district since 2019. So, to me, if you're going to hold me accountable, hold something accountable where I have control over, not something I don't have control over. And so I wanted to clarify the whole grant process, and as far as how that is worked upon. The other thing that I like to cover, that they also they keep referring to this FBI investigation deal. Several months ago, guys, I got plastered in the media. Somebody wrote a letter to the editor saying that I was part of an investigation, that to make it seem as though I'm part of it, in a sense that I'm involved somehow. That's not true. And I welcome anybody to call the FBI directly to ask them. I have never been a target of an investigation. I made it clear that I'm a potential witness to an investigation. That's all I can say about it. I cannot discuss the merits of the case, but it isn't any different from somebody witnessing a car accident and is the witness to a car accident. That's what I can say about it. And furthermore, it upsets me that they use it and twist it into a political act to make it seem like I'm involved. And over the last couple of days, I through conversation, I even heard that the superintendent himself is a potential witness also as well. So does that mean that he's involved in an investigation? No, he's a potential witness. So so to make those comments and then for their political benefit, I made it clear from the very beginning of this campaign that I was going to run my race based on what my opponent's record as a board member has been. I've never attacked him personally. I've never attacked him professionally, and I'm going to keep it that way. But his record as a sitting board member is free game as far as I'm concerned. So those are the main things I wanted to touch upon tonight in relation to that, because it has been a big thing in this campaign recently. But I don't think it's helped them at all. I'll be honest with you. I don't think negative garbage like this helps anybody. And it's sad that they formed that specific purpose PAC in relation to raise money. They basically got money from Samuel CSD vendors to donate to this PAC, and then my opponent somehow trying to soften it and trying to make it look a little bit better, stating that vendors feel more comfortable giving to a PAC, and then whatever proceeds are left over, we're going to go ahead and give them to student scholarships. And they ended up naming the PAC. They call it the San Benito Students First. Basically, they're using Samuel CSD students to generate money for political advertising.
And unfortunately, I think PACs are you're allowed to use some contributions, campaign contributions, for donations and things like that. I'm not sure specifically if they can create a scholarship because of a PAC. That might be something you might want to contact and ask the Texas Ethics Commission on your own to figure out whether or not they can actually do that. I'm not sure they can, but I'll give you an example. You'll see on campaign finance reports from incumbent elected officials when they'll say, "Oh, I donated $100 for flowers for a funeral," or $250 for, you know, sponsoring a kickball team or whatever. And you'll see that, and that's perfectly fine. Josh, I don't know if you're able to see my private messages. I've been messaging you a lot, and you're completely ignoring them. And I don't like having to say this while we're on the show. But I understand, but you need to be able to pay attention to that. It's just, thank you. There's a Jack, you need to raise it. It's not lowercase. And if you don't mind taking off the Jack Garcia 4, because it makes it seem like we're endorsing Jack, and the page doesn't endorse candidates. So if you can just make it say welcome candidate, the SBCISD candidate. And I'm sorry I'm saying this, it's that he's not reading my private messages for whatever reason. They may not be going through properly. Anyway, Teresa, while you, I guess this is a comment to you, Jack. While you were part of this SBCISD after school program, you helped bring in $17 million.
I in my time as the director, I oversaw over my life as a director over $30-something million over the span of 17 years, and I helped secure probably about maybe 17 to 20 million of that. We were able also to expand the after school program within not just grant sites, but non-grant sites as well, and trying to mirror the same concept. And you know, I wish some of my colleagues from across the state were online right now, and they would vouch for our program and how my commitment to San Benito CISD and the program has always been in the best interest of them and especially our students.
Thanks.
Great memories.
Yeah, Josh, do you have any questions for Jack?
I'm good, thanks.
He has always really good questions. That's why I like having him on.
Well, no, I mean, I just kind of heard a little bit about the story with the poll worker, and so that's kind of what I wanted to ask Jack about. But he pretty much covered it when he was speaking earlier, and so and then I was thinking of what he just shared. So actually, I had a question derived from one lady asked real fast. Let me put her comment up.
Yeah.
So
and just so you know, Josh actually messaged me the story from the Valley Morning Star about the poll worker at about 4 o'clock in the morning or something. I have no idea what time it was, Josh, that you sent that to me. So
it wasn't 4 o'clock. I wasn't up at that ungodly hour, Jack. It was like 8 o'clock this morning, I think.
Okay,
I was having my coffee. And I was like, hey, let's see what's on the news feed. And it was there.
So that's how important it was to Josh that he actually messaged me, hey, did you see this? I'm like, well, yeah, I saw it last night. But still, you know, so Josh really wanted to, so I kind of stole his thunder, so I apologize, Josh.
That's right. But no, I had Miss, and forgive me if I mispronounce your name, Miss Teresa Sevillan. While she says, while you were part of the SBCISD after school program, you helped bring in about $17 million in grant funding. So you were a grant writer at the school district? Is that your background there? And for those of us who aren't that familiar with the situation, Jack?
Yeah, I'm part of the grant design. I was always part of the grant design. The district contract for grant writing services, but I was always involved in the planning, the dealing with the budgets and kind of the design. I always try to I don't know. I was always the one with some wacky ideas. And the grant writer was kind of the one that wrote it and put it together. But you know, it's trying to figure out what's best for San Benito.
Yeah.
I
didn't get a chance to read Nelda's comment, but it's fine. Thank you, Jack, for giving me an opportunity to work under a great professional. Thank you for all the funding you brought to San Benito. It was an excellent program. And
thank you. Nelda was a former coordinator and a very successful one. Always involved with our parents and our students.
Yeah, and Norma is saying these sound like BISD vendors. Yeah, they really do sound like BISD vendors. And you know, you remarked about the FBI. Jack was a great director for after school program. It sounds like you're having to go to best of luck, Jack, is what Irene is saying. That you have to go to the FBI. And I don't know who I don't know the name. Who are you running against, Jack? Norma would like to know.
Oh, I'm running against Orlando Lopez.
He's
a current board president right now.
Right. Okay. The thing is we have issues for some reason in the Valley. The FBI always, it seems like they have to get involved somehow in so many different entities, whether it's Brownsville ISD or in your case, San Benito ISD, or whether I think it was Donna, random, cities. For some reason, they get involved. And I do teach history. I am a history adjunct at a local university, and
Well, me too.
so I can say is there's a reason for that. There's a reason why the FBI has to get involved, because historically in the Valley, there have been essentially three major employers for people for jobs, and it all stems from politics, whether it's at a county, at the city, or the school board. And so you have to get people elected in order to divvy out favors. This has been going on since the turn of the 19th century, because there aren't a lot of jobs. And so people get involved in politics to get other people hired to give their compadre, their tío, their tía, their cousin, their brother, sister jobs. And that leads to potential corruption. And it's unfortunate that here in the Valley, we have a black eye from corruption. I mean, in Brownsville, we're going to have a school board member that's a current school board member on trial starting on Monday in federal court for corruption and bribery charges. There's already an impaneled jury. They're going to have, I believe, this week, the final pre-hearing for that particular federal court case. And so that's what happens in the Valley, unfortunately. So it's very, very important that if you're voting in this race in San Benito or in any race, you pay attention to the telltale signs of potential corruption. And you don't want that. So if Jack is already working with the FBI to be a witness of some sort of what he's witnessed, that should tell you something about what he's seen. And it should, worry you that that's happening. So you need to make sure you vote for good people. And that's why I know Janie, and that's your friend Janie on your slate. So I'm massively endorsing her. I can't vote for you, Jack, but I want you to win, because I think we need change, and as much as possible throughout the Valley. And if you're the agent for change, then I have to support somebody like you.
Yeah.
John Lopez is saying tranza. So what are your thoughts on that, about the corruption that's happening in the Valley, not just in San Benito, or the black eye that just happens because people just want to have a job? Yeah.
I think one can get complacent, and the fact that the actual power can get to one's head, I guess. And the reality of it, the way I see things is, you think you can get away with something, but maybe 4 years down the road, 5 years down the road, they're going to come knocking at your door. And so it's, to me, it's not worth that. I've got a younger son, and I've been trying to teach him between right and wrong, just like all of us as parents. I can't say throughout my lifetime that I haven't witnessed something or two that I would question. But it's trying to do the right thing. And, I would hope that the voters that have seen my work and my commitment can say, you know what, I pretty much, not everybody agreed with me at times, as a leader, everybody has different opinions on to obtain goals and objectives for a program. And I respect that. And sometimes I disagreed with some, I don't hide my emotions very well. So, but I know that we all have the same goal in mind to achieve. And that's what I want to be judged upon of my body of work over the years. And that's all I can say about that.
Very quickly, Teresa's saying, do you work for the state of Texas now? Don't they conduct an extensive background check? So would an FBI investigation be flagged?
Yes, she is correct. When I do work with the Juvenile Justice Department, a great organization, great people there. And yes, you do go through a pretty substantial background check, drug test, you name it. Yeah.
Jack Garcia, yeah, Ray likes you. He doesn't like me very much, but he likes you, Jack. So I don't know. You know what? Maybe I should take back the endorsement. You know, the support of you, Jack, since Ray.
Ray and his commitment to chess should be admired by many. I've seen Ray work with a lot of students over the years.
Yeah, Ray's a good guy.
I wish I was still involved, Ray. But I'm still very supportive of the chess community.
You know, one of these days, maybe we can have you and Ray have a chess match live on RioPolitics Speed Chess, and we'll cover it live. You know, that'll be fun. Unless that would be for charity. Maybe we could do something for charity. Maybe we can do charity for that pack. That's
I kid. That was a good statement you just said, because I think there was a posting. I think it was yesterday or today where somebody posted on my post, you know, instead of generating all that money for campaign, they should just generate and give it to charity, you know, to that PAC.
Yeah, I kid. Yeah, Josh, can you put out that comment? It's very long. The unity we have that is unique to the Valley is also our Achilles. There hasn't been an influx of outsiders in the Valley for many reasons. That's why it is what it is. It is stagnant. New ideas with good intentions serve when you're in a position of public service. And the thing is until we grow industry, when the largest employer south of San Antonio is Brownsville ISD. That tells you something. When your largest employers are public entities, we have problem, potential public corruption, it just too many hands in the cookie jar kind of stuff. And I'm not saying everybody's corrupt. But we have instances of, you know, in Wesco, you know, my hometown, you know, they had several $1 million treatment plant. There were elected officials that went to jail, and it wasn't just people from Wesco. There were people from other cities that were involved in this thing. So it's not cool. I'm so sorry that I don't live in the district, because I surely would vote for you. It was a pleasure to working with you. Good luck to you, guys. Those of you that are new to the page, do us a favor. RioPolitics is something that we want to do. That this page is to grow information. It's not to attack people. It's a page where we're interviewing candidates, office holders. Once the election is over, some of our focus will move towards the Texas legislature, and also for the May elections that are coming up in various cities. And so we will be doing having interviews with elected officials at the state level that want to inform the Valley, and we're going to hopefully be an outlet for that. So please like and share our page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and help us out, because this is not just about, you know, this election and we're gone. We're not leaving. You can't get rid of us. So please help us and get help. And if you know of office holders or candidates that would like to get their message out between now and election day, please message the page, and we'll try to put them in. Jack, I know right before election day, we'll have you and Janie back on together, and so we can talk about, you know, what your plans are for election day. But while we still have you now, and then we'll let you go, because me and Josh had some news items we wanted to talk about for the last 30 minutes of our show. What do you want to tell your supporters and undecided voters? And thanks for saying that, Norma. What do you have to say to your voters and undecided voters in South San Benito, and what they can do to help you get elected, and what people that don't live in San Benito can do to help you get elected to bring about a change in San Benito CISD?
I think those that don't live within the district boundaries that have friends here should call their friends that are here, and if they haven't voted, to get out and vote. I think that's the most important thing. You know, my experience working directly with the district, both in an administrative role, and understanding the ins and outs, I just feel like I'm the best candidate to serve on the board. My experience with youth, I have an extension background of working with youth, both at-risk youth and both as a probation officer, as a corrections officer, and so forth. You know, I think that that's important right now. Now, these are very difficult times right now with the you know, the COVID-19 and so forth. So I want to be a part of that decision making, that policy making for the best interest for our kids and for our parents as well. You know, I'll work hard for the community as a whole. I'm not just for individuals. You know, I represent everyone. And one thing I want to say is that, you know, some of the feedback from district employees is that they're fearful. That needs to change. Okay, I want a district employee to feel comfortable to come up to me and talk to me about issues without any feeling fearful about it. And so I'm there, and I have an open door policy. So I appreciate you guys and your time for allowing me to come on, and I look forward to being back on right before Election Day.
Yeah, we're hoping to have you and Janie on last week, but I know something happened, so
yeah,
not to worry.
My schedule and so forth sometimes.
No worries, it's okay. We understand, and your time is valuable right now. So Jack, keep doing what you're doing, kick butt, and hopefully you'll be that change. But we'll have you probably over the weekend. Our plan is to have as many candidates as possible Saturday, Sunday, and Monday before Election Day. And so best of luck to you. If you need anything, you know, contact the page, contact Manny, and if you need to come on for about 10 minutes or something breaking that you really want to share with the viewers, our viewers, please do that. So we'll let you go. God bless you, Jack. God bless you and to your little boy as well. Okay. God bless. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Jack. Have a good night, bud.
Thank you.
Guys, that was Jack Garcia, the awesome Jack Garcia, running for San Benito CISD trustee. We will have him on again. Trust me, we will. Him and Janie have been good to the page, and we want to be good back to them. Guys, what is the awesome topic that Josh had some topics for us that we were going to talk about that he really wanted to do. So we're going to do that right now for you all. And please give us your comments, give us your questions, please. This is an interactive live stream, please. All right, Josh, what is it? What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about numbers today.
Yeah, you want to talk about the numbers first? We can do that.
Yeah, we're going to talk numbers, guys. See, and we're going to do. Did you get the Derek Ryan stuff?
Yeah, we just one second.
There's a lot of information out there about early voting. You're going to get people saying people are coming out to vote in droves statewide. The state is going to turn blue. It's going to vote for Biden. And if you were with us on Sunday, we discussed the the early vote turnout from Tuesday of last week to Friday. Well, now we have Saturday, Sunday, and Monday numbers together statewide. This is from our friend Derek Ryan, who is the former data and research guy for the Republican Party of Texas. This is something he does as a service to the state of Texas for free. And if you're interested in getting this information straight to your email, go to ryandata, RYANDATA.com. Subscribe to this, and this will come into your mailbox every single day. You can make it just a little bit bigger, Josh, sorry. That's perfect. Okay, great. Scroll up. And we're going to go real very quickly to some of these numbers so that you can kind of get an idea what's happening in statewide and also specifically Cameron County and Hidalgo County, because we have those numbers for you. Go down just a little bit more. That's a pie chart of who's coming out to vote. If you were with us on Sunday, scroll up just a little bit more, hair more. No, scroll up. No, down. Sorry. The other way. Keep going. Go.
Your other up.
Yeah, the other way. Keep going. Go. All right. Good job. Perfect. Great. And if you were with us, you saw on Sunday up through Friday, Democrats in Texas were coming out in droves, and they were a significant piece of the pie in terms of early voters throughout the state of Texas. Well, they've come down 2%, and Republicans have gone up about 1 to 2%. So right now they're on par. If you look at the Republican primary voters and the ones that voted last primary, they're out 31.4. I want to say 31.4. Democrats are 29.7 plus the 3.2. It comes out to be 32.9. So Democrats are still a bigger portion of the pie than Republicans, but they're a lot lower than what it was before. Republicans are staying on par with their number, and Democrats are coming down at the expense of new voters and voters that are independent-minded voters. Are you sure this is the right page number, Manny? Josh?
This is the one you sent me.
No. That you're looking at the wrong. This was yesterday's. This was Monday's. I can tell this is Monday's. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I sent you another. Let me send it to you again, man, Josh, because you're looking at. Yeah, you're looking at Monday. Sorry, this is the wrong data. Yeah, I promise you, this is wrong. Yeah, let me send that to you again. Will you be able to open it as soon if I send it to you right now, Manny? I mean, Josh.
I can get it figured out. We can talk about something else while I'm doing it, but if you send it to me, I can figure it out.
Yeah. I can tell that's wrong because it's supposed to be 28.5 for Democrats. That's how I know it's wrong. That's yesterday's data. So I guess we'll look at this again in a little later. But to make you all understand what's going on, Democrats have come out to vote early and often in the beginning of the last week. They're excited. Republican voters are coming out already. Now, are they going to vote for Trump? We don't know. Are all Democrats going to vote for Biden? We don't know. But we can look at their voter history. We can tell whether or not they participate in the Republican primary or the Democratic primary. And that can kind of give us an idea of, a good chunk of them are going to vote for their party's nominee for president. And so based off of this stuff, I can safely say Republicans are coming out already. Finally, they've woken up. And all right, what is this, Josh? You wanted us to see?
It's talking about how the National Democratic Super PAC is going to double its spending to $12 million in the battle for the Texas House, because they think that the Texas House is in play for a Democratic takeover.
Yeah. I'm not sure that I'm kind of surprised that they're spending money on state house races. I can't read it. It's a little bit too small for me, Josh. If you don't mind making it bigger, that'd be good.
Let me know when it's good.
Perfect. That's fine. All right. This PAC forward majority is doubling its spending to flip the Texas House, bringing its commitment to $12 million. Do you by any chance know what how many they would have to flip in order to make it a Democratic state?
They would have to flip 10 seats.
Yeah, that's not.
And that's holding on to the 12 they took last time. So, right. So they would roughly have to hold on to 10 or hold on to 12 and take another 10 to flip the Texas House.
And that'll be very difficult to do with gerrymandering. Their only hope to be able to do that is that these are suburban districts, and as suburban districts, and they have to hope that suburban women decide when they're voting against Trump because for whatever reason they don't like President Trump, that they vote all the way down the ballot. Now, this is the first election without straight ticket voting. This is the first election with La Palanca. And as you can see, just in your ballot, if you already voted early here in Cameron County, it was a very long ballot. It was double-sided. In Harris County, it's going to be a lot longer. Your ballots are going to be huge in some of these places. And so if people want to wait in line, they just want to vote for president and not vote all the way down the ballot, guess what? That helps Republicans, because low information voters will tend to vote for the Democrat, for the challenger, and they're not used to just not being able to bubble in one thing and go through the page, and that will help Republicans. I'm not sure how $12 million and this late in the race is going to make a difference. And I say this because Democrats and what they've been doing nationally is doing airdrops, doing mail outs, doing advertising, not necessarily getting the boots in the ground. Boots in the ground is very, very, very important. And this isn't something you can just, turn on a switch and you can get boots on the ground. This is stuff you have to work on. It's a long, long slog. And Republicans, even in the midst of a pandemic, were still block walking. They were knocking on doors. They were registering voters. If you look at the registration numbers, not just in Texas, but in other states, in particular battleground states like Florida and Pennsylvania, Republicans have been able to close the gap on Democrat registered voters. I'll give you this example. In Florida, Republicans have been able to make up 70% of they were behind the registration numbers of Democrats. They were able to make up 70% since last time, meaning they're not that far behind. And last time they won. The Republican Trump won. If you look at the Quinnipiac poll in 2016, they predicted that the now Governor Ron DeSantis was going to lose by 7 points. And last I saw, Governor DeSantis is the governor of Florida. And why did that happen? Because Republicans were able to get out new voters that they registered themselves, and that's why they were able to do that. And so that takes painstaking work. It's not going to happen with Biden being in a basement. It's not going to happen just by doing cutesy little ads with MJ Hager, doing the Dear John, hey John, we need to talk, John. Like, we tell you to talk. And that's not going to make a difference. Her little, motorcycle ads that look like really crappy CGI is not going to be the one that makes the difference. It's going to be the boots on the ground. And so I'm not sure this $12 million doubling their spending is going to make a difference, unless they're trying to buy an election, I guess. I don't think that's what they're doing.
Well, let's bring it a little closer home for a minute, Roman. What do you, for the one contested House race we have in the Valley, what do you think about the HD 41 race with Dr. John
Actually, we have two in the Valley.
There's two? What's the other one?
Ryan Guillen has a Republican opponent.
Oh, that's true. Okay, yeah, I forgot about her.
In that race, if you talk to our friend Brandon Barrera, who's the former Claiborne County Republican chairman, he'll tell you that Ryan Guillen is in the fight of his life, because that particular district is closer to being a Republican seat than HD 41, quite frankly. I do not believe Dr. Guerra can win. Even though Dr. Guerra is part of DHR, and DHR tends to help the entrenched incumbent Bobby Guerra. I think the good thing about Dr. John Guerra in HD 41, which is McAllen-Edinburgh area in Hidalgo County. His benefit is he didn't have my friend Hilda DeSasia, one of the great high school debate coaches around. She's now retired. She was a school board member at McAllen and has run twice against Bobby Guerra and lost both times. But she unfortunately had baggage because she voted for a tax increase at McAllen ISD, and voters remembered that. And that was sort of baggage that Dr. Guerra does not have. And so maybe that'll be helpful. He is spending money. He does have an invigorated Republican grassroots movement, which is great. I'm just not sure that's going to be beneficial when you look at who's coming out to vote. When you already have over half of the electorate from 2014 already have voted, whether through mail-in ballot or through early vote, with just these few days going in to early vote, that doesn't bode well for Republicans, unless you have the mindset that says, hey, Republicans are really gung-ho. They're the ones that want the change, not the Democrats. It just depends on what your feelings are. My personal feelings are based off of Derek Ryan's data, where only Republicans make up 8% of the electorate of the early vote people and mail-in people so far, meaning they're Republicans that vote in a Republican primary. It doesn't bode well if you're Monica De La Cruz. It doesn't bode well if you're Judge Fonseca, unless you're getting Democrat support. Anyway, so yeah, I think Ryan Guillen has a shot of losing. I do, and I'm with Brandon on that one. But that's a completely different House race in the Valley.
Well, did you Knowlton race? The sitting SREC member for SD19 endorsed Guillen. Do you think that says anything, or no comment?
That person should not be a member of the SREC. That says
exactly. But I mean, do you think it'll sway anything?
From office, huh?
Do you think that'll sway anything?
No, I don't think it matters, quite frankly.
Gotcha.
I think Ryan Guillen was going to more than likely win because he's an entrenched incumbent, but I think that race will be closer than the HD 41 race, just based off of historical patterns.
Okay.
And what Brandon told me prior.
All right.
Yeah. Going back to Ryan Thaddeus. Okay, great. And that is today's now, right? Does that have 28.5 for? Yeah, there you go. Good job. Yay. You see there. There you go.
October 20th.
Yeah, good
you sent
job.
me the right one.
No, All right, scroll down. This is Ryan's data. We're going to go quickly on this one. Now, this one, it still says 30.9% for Republicans plus 9% there. That's 31.8% for Republicans. Democrats now account for 3.1 plus the 28.5. That's 31.6. So Republicans have overtaken the population of Democrat voters in early voting. And this isn't just, Brian doesn't just have early voting data. This is early voting plus mail-in ballot already. So that means Republicans are taking a bigger piece of the pie and Democrats are coming down. Now, what that's also saying is that new voters are coming out to vote already. Remember earlier there was in the 10 point something number percentage. Now it's at 11.3. The general election and no primary history, meaning they just vote in general election. They don't vote in any primary. They're independent minded voters. They're now a bigger piece of the pie. They're now at 25.4%. Moving closer and closer to what their normal early vote share is, as it was in 2018 and 2016. So scroll down. We're going to look at 4Ds and 4Rs. 4Rs are finally showing up on Sunday, which going from Tuesday of last week to Friday. The 4Rs are only 45%. They now account for 57.8%. Almost the same number that the 4Ds were as of Friday. Now, if you look at the 4Ds, they're at 71. They've only gone up 11. So Republicans really are coming out and vote. And what 4Ds and 4Rs mean is simply they are voters that have voted in the last 4 Republican primaries or the last 4 Democrat primaries. And why does this, percentage-wise, you would think, oh, wow, 71%, that's great for Democrats, but not really when you look at the total aggregate number. When you look at the total aggregate number, it's not really a lot, because the lowest number of Republican primary electorate in the last 4 primaries was in 2014. It was about 1.1, 1.2 million Republican primary voters. So that means if of those people, they voted in 2014, 2016, 2018, 2020 primary. That is the lowest amount it could possibly be. For Democrats, though, if you look at 2014, which was their lowest number for statewide Democrat primary, it's about 500,000. So let's say it's a million for Republicans and 500,000 for Democrats. They all voted on all 4 elections, and they qualify as being 4Ds or 4Rs. 71% of 500,000 is not a lot. In fact, 400,000, not even. 57%, which is roughly a little bit more than half for Republicans, is already, I don't know. It wasn't my fault. And look at Josh. Josh didn't invite you.
Blame the gringo.
Yeah, I will blame the gringo. And so you're looking at that number. And so it's a little bit more. So there are more Republican primary 4Rs than there are Democrat primary 4Ds. Okay. And so they're just as enthusiastic. They're making a comeback. Republicans are coming out to vote finally and making a bigger percentage of the pie. Go to the next page, Josh.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
If I'll send you the link, Erasmo, if you want to come on. I'll text you the link right now, John. Erasmo. Here. Yeah, the link. I texted you the link. This is by age group. It's telling you people want to make, oh, the new voters are all young people. They're coming out to vote. They're the woke progressives. Look at this chart. They don't make up that big of a chunk of voters. They're on par as normal. The 18 and 29-year-old range is about 10 to 12% of the voting population right now. Not a lot. People that are coming out to vote are the people that always come out to vote. The people that pay a big chunk of the taxes, property taxes in our state, they're coming out to vote. Even older people, older than 70, are a bigger chunk of the pie than the young voters. So those young voters, those Bernie bros, they're not coming out to vote as much as you thought they were going to come out to vote. I just love candidates who think, I'm going to be the candidate that's going to bring out the young voters. Whatever. Next page. There's still females still account for a bigger chunk of the voting population right now in early vote. Does that right there does not necessarily bode well for President Trump. President Trump has not been able to in public polling that's been out there. Males tend to vote for Trump, females tend to vote for Biden or want to vote for Biden. So this is not a good number for President Trump.
Why is there an unknown category?
Because if they may not have filled out the male or female in their voter registration.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay. Next, this is the voter by county, and what we're going to do is we're going to focus on Cameron County, and we're going to focus on Hidalgo County. So in Hidalgo County, Republicans account for 9.3% of those that have come out to vote, plus a 2.6 because those are the people that voted most recently in a Republican primary. We'll combine them and call them Republicans. That is 11.9% of the electorate are Republicans in all of Hidalgo County. Okay. Democrats, on the other hand, you will do the third and the fourth column and combine them, and that comes out to be 52%. So Democrats account for 52%, almost 5 times the number of voters that Republicans account for in Hidalgo County. And then you look at the independent voters or the new voters in Hidalgo County. The ones that just vote in general election, don't vote in either primary, they account for 22.5%. And the absolute new voters that have never voted in any primary or any general election voters, they account for 12.6%. which is on par with the rest of the state. Now, in Cameron County, it's a little bit different. Cameron County tends to be just a slightly more red than Hidalgo County, but they have a smaller population, a smaller voting population, and also a smaller overall population. Cameron County account for Republicans, they are 14.8% of the electorate. Out of the 45,000 people plus the 7,000 people that voted, out of that number, only 14.8% vote in the Republican primary in Cameron County. Democrats account for a smaller percentage than they do in Hidalgo County. 44 plus 3.1 comes out to 47.1%, which is different than the 52% in Hidalgo County. And the independent-minded voter, the ones that don't vote in either primary, they account for 24.9%, of roughly 25% of the vote in Cameron County. And newer voters are a bigger chunk of the pie in Cameron County than Hidalgo County of 13.3%, which is an interesting breakdown. So the next page will give you the participation rate, meaning what this says is all the people that voted in the Republican primary that fit in this category, this percentage of the people that voted. So in Hidalgo County, of all the people that generally voted in the Republican primary, 47% of them have already voted, meaning there's still 53% of Republicans out there that have not voted yet in Hidalgo County. Democrats, on the other hand, they're at 45.5%, meaning they still have 65% of their numbers have not come out to vote yet. And same thing for the mixed one. If they're at 57%, that means 43% of them have not voted yet. So Democrats still have some work to do in Hidalgo County. Don't think that they're kicking butt completely. They still have some work to do to get out the vote. In Cameron County, 50% of Republicans have already come out to vote already. That means the other 50 haven't come out to vote. In Cameron County, that could explain why they have a larger chunk of the pie in the Cameron County vote numbers. And in Cameron County, the Democrats have over 48% of all Democrat primary voters that normally vote in primaries. Democrat primaries have come out to vote. That means there's 52% out there. Democrats still have some work to do. But it's roughly the same, 50% for Republicans and Democrats. And yeah. And so they still have a little bit of work to do to be able to get out to vote. So what is that? All that numbers aside, Josh, what does this tell you?
The valley is blue and Republicans have a lot of work to do.
Yep. That's what it tells me too. So hopefully I did not bore some of y'all with some of these numbers. I think it's important for you all to have an information about data. I love data. Data is great. You can't just base it off of, oh, my tia voted. Oh, that means it's going to go this way. So data matters. Hey, Orange Man. It's Erasmo Castro, candidate for BISD, the one, the only, Donald Trump. You really are becoming to look more and more like him. I swear, if you were to shave your beard and decide to do some sort of rude awakening, maybe dye your hair a little bit blonde, you'll be okay. Nothing has changed, Zach. No, nothing has changed. You should seriously, dude. Why are you not dressing up as Donald Trump for president for Halloween? You know, red tie, open thing. You could totally dress, dude. Like, it's scary. Wear some sunblock.
I can't.
At
this point, it's just a little bit too late for sunblock. It's a done deal.
Yeah, but you're gonna get skin cancer, dude. You're not used to it. You're not used to working out there. You're an indoor cat kind of thing. You know, that's your game. So anybody get arrested today?
No one got arrested today. As the
polls, that the cops come back again and visit you, pay a visit?
No, I think that the individuals who were reporting us got tired of it, and you know, it seems like anything that they're trying to do is really like backfiring on them. It's just not working. You know, you start to even feel sorry for them, and I'm actually going to talk a little bit about that today. I mean, I'm at the point where I, you know, feel bad for them. I feel sorry for them.
How did you're the little bird that was saying that there were going to be some meetings today with the FBI. You were not invited. How did those go? Any news?
Yeah, I spoke to a lot of individuals, a couple of individuals who actually went, and they seemed to say that it was just a gay old time. So again, I think everything's going to huh?
They didn't like they didn't say, hey, here's your orange jumpsuit we have ready for you. You know, they didn't have like fitting for them.
No, not yet. Which actually surprised me, because I was going to truly believe that that other individuals were going to be indicted today, but you know, it was a guess based on what the trends were saying. But again, don't always work out the way we want them to.
He says it was boring at the light. Why was it boring?
It was boring. There weren't that many cars passing by. It's starting to chill out some. Actually, it's just not the same. Miss Miller wasn't there, and it's always
was she in San Antonio or something, or where was she?
Huh?
Where was she, in San Antonio, Colorado?
She was out, and you know, Miss Miller is always fun. She's a hoot, and you know, it's like that little group chemistry. You know, you got Miss Miller here, we got Vito here, and it's just fun. Marisa was absent also a little bit today, but so it wasn't having the whole crew out there. Hey, so she doesn't go.
What am I, chopped liver or something? He's your favorite, not me, really?
Yeah, man. When you got it, bud.
I'm actually in front of you too, Roman. So
sorry, Roman.
Okay.
Hey, I don't mind doing both shows.
What? Well, no, dude, you have to run and get elected or something. You don't have time to do two shows, damn it. You have time to go get people to vote for you. Oh, well, anyway, so nobody got arrested today. No news. So, have we found out for sure that they're going to have a Zoom for the meeting yet?
I find out, Roman, there will be no Zoom. It will be in person.
Oh, you're going to be in person at the courthouse. You're going to be allowed to go in?
That's what the email said. I sent an email today requesting a link to the trial, and the email specifically stated that there was going to be no link to the trial. It was all going to be in person.
So how are you going to be able to go in? Are they going to be testing you all, or to be able to watch it, or?
I imagine they're going to check the temperature and to make sure that everyone is spaced out inside the courtroom. But yeah, I'm going to be out there. I'm going to try to be at.
Nobody likes you, Ray.
Huh?
Nobody likes Ray. Just letting you know, Ray. Nobody really likes you. We stomach you. We don't really like you.
Speak for yourself, Roman. Speak for yourself.
Shut up. Just kidding. I'm doing your shout out. Anyway, so you're gonna have to be there in person. So you're gonna give up the campaign trail to go to this trial because that's more important.
Well, it's not the campaign trail. And again, we're all going to talk about that again. And I'm not trying to plug my 9 o'clock, but we are going to talk about that.
It's okay. I have things to do at 9 o'clock anyway, like eat.
We're going to talk about that today. But, you know, I truly believe that this part of it really isn't campaigning. I mean, it's a small little snippet of it. Right now, all it is, you know, making sure that your people are going out there to vote. And my people are coming out to vote. And again, I don't do the thing that other politicians do. You know, here, all the politicians, they get on those lists, and then they're trying to check on the list. And that might be something that my opponents are doing. Even some of the people that are favorable to me, that they might be doing as well. It's just not my type of politics. I don't do that.
Yeah.
I just put big billboards on Sunrise Mall.
Yeah, you have money. Are you gonna get another billboard or something, or what are you gonna do?
After I win the election, maybe. Just depends as to.
You got the money. Maybe that's when all the vendors are gonna start giving you money.
Oh, it just depends. I do want to cover the debt, of course, but more than anything is to maybe put up a billboard for a couple of weeks thanking the people of Brownsville. You know, I think that'd be kind of cool. Just thank you. Because it really has been about the people of Brownsville. This race has been very, very telling in regards to the sentiment of the individuals in our community that, you know, they're tired. They're tired of, they're tired of the crumbs. They're tired of, no disregard. Voted for someone who shows true transparency. I'm sorry. You are mistaken. There is absolutely no transparency in that. And you have the right to vote for Mr. Garcia.
Who do you want to vote for?
There is no transparency in that man. That man is very bitter. It's very unfortunate. But Joe, if you are a friend of Mr. Garcia, he is going to need some help. He needs some help.
Is he one of the people that was calling the cops all the time, calling his buddies at the cops?
Yeah. He needs some help, and I feel more sorry for him than anybody else. He's at that point where I think he might start to lose it. So, Joe, if you are a friend of his, reach out to him. He needs help, and I don't mean that in a bad way. He just needs some mental health.
It's unfortunate. You know, some people can handle it, some people can't.
Yeah, he can.
But it's also because it's a long early vote process. I really don't like 3 weeks of early voting.
I agree with you. It's too long. By now we'd be finishing off the second day of the second week, getting ready for the last 3-4 days, and getting it ready and done. But right now we still have to face one more week of early voting after this one.
It's gonna be exhausting, and on top of that, it changes your strategy in terms of where you spend your money. I mean, if you're paying people to hold your signs, that's an extra week you have to pay that you may not have the money for that. And so you don't have volunteers like Erasmo Castro does. It's going to be problematic. So if you're beholden to get money, it just makes you spend more that you really don't want to have to be spending for early vote. Well, anyway, we're going to leave the show early to give you an opportunity to do your show at 9. We weren't planning on going past 8 o'clock. So, guys, tomorrow I will not be doing the show tomorrow. It's my first day of class. I'm starting a new session with new students. So every Wednesday I will not be around. We will be. Josh is supposed to do the show by himself tomorrow, all by himself. But it's okay. I'm more than likely going to find him somebody to co-host with him for tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe Erasmo will want to co-host for him. Who knows?
What time?
7:30. I know it's early for you. It's okay. Yeah, no, it's Wednesday. You can't do it. That's why I haven't even asked you. But I've asked.
We'll figure something out. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it may be Jessica Puente Bradshaw. I have a feeling she will say yes. And if she doesn't say yes, we'll be
running.
No, Jessica Puente Bradshaw.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jessica Gonzalez.
Oh no, Jessica Puente Bradshaw with the Cameron County Conservative Facebook page, and so because Manny can't do it. I think he'll be flying still into, I don't know where he's flying to. And so
Bangkok
tomorrow. So anyway, so tomorrow there will be a show at 7:30. It
Roman,
will not be me, and it will not be Manny. It will be somebody.
you mentioned it, Roman. Really, I mean, I haven't seen anything of Jessica Gonzalez anywhere, and
I know she's block walking. I know that she's out there putting up signs.
Real fast, Erasmo. We got something for you, bro.
Brandon,
Get a room, Brandon. Get a room.
love you, Brandon.
Yeah, it's all good. No, yeah. Vote for you want to vote, Joe. Vote for you.
See you tomorrow, Sochi.
Just to share with you, Joe, I have nothing against Eddie at all. I mean, we joke around a lot.
Ray, Ray, I think Ray wants to co-host with you, Josh, tomorrow. Maybe.
Yeah, we'll get back to you on that, Royo.
Just to finish my thought before the woman interrupted me, Joe, no animosity against Eddie. I mean, he is. It is what it is. It's politics. It's all it is. There's no reason to be so upset. It's just politics.
Yeah. Keep an eye out. We may be doing a late night show depending on Manny tonight. So just giving you a heads up. We may do one. No promise. No promise. We may. Just depends on Manny. Because I think Josh said he's over going to the Bangkok today or something. He's going to be in Thailand because he wants to go get the big chili.
He likes spicy food.
He likes spicy food. The big chili.
What?
The big chili. They have a lot of good hot food and hot peppers. Spicy.
Always the conversation goes.
I'm waiting for him to say something, and he finally it takes.
Always the conversation goes.
Well, man, we don't know where Manny's going. Manny travels the globe. That's all he ever does.
Manny, love you. God bless, Papa. Let me say, Manny, if you're listening, I've proven my point. Yes, yet again.
All right, guys. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. God bless. This is RioPolitics. We don't do the news. We don't make the news. We just help you see it. God bless. Bye.
Guys.